Hello all. Well, here in California we have a super bloom going on. It means it's one of the best flower seasons in history. Here in San Francisco we're having quite a bloom session ourselves. So we'll be looking at a few of those. We talk about, well, one of the biggest threats to the world there is, and it's caused by humans. Are you surprised? So today's video is, are humans smart? We keep telling ourselves that we're the smartest ape on the planet. Are we? I'm going to pick on one country especially, and that's the US, because it's the country I live in. And what we're trying to do is make the country better, not worse. I'm going to talk today about world gun deaths, the world's most massive weapons of mass destruction on the planet, and always probably will be, is the gun. The gun has killed so many people over the years, more than anything else. The gun deaths are amazing. They're up there with heart attacks and auto accidents. Now the US will spend trillions of dollars now to fight terrorism, right? Terrorism isn't going to kill very many people. It's so low, it's statistically not even measurable. But yet we spend no money at all on gun deaths here in the US. And around the world, we are now just seeing some countries taking some serious action against excessive guns, military weapons, and that kind of thing. Okay, we're going to measure this on 100,000 persons. So how many people are shot or wounded or whatever per 100,000 people? So if you have 100,000 people in the room and it says 4, that means there's 4 people killed for every 100,000. Okay. Hello. So I'm hoping I can find a place just right over here. Let's see if we can go find a place. It doesn't have as many people. So let's put a few countries in perspective of the US. So Finland and France have 3 per 100,000 per 24 hours. But as a country itself, the US has 11 per 100,000. Let's go look at the graph. And here is the US gun death and injuries chart here. So it's hard to get accurate, good information on this because the gun industry doesn't want that information out here. They do so much to try and get rid of the baggage that comes with guns. So we have to go back a ways. So 2011 gun deaths were 32,351 in the US. Then in 2016 it went up to 38,658 deaths. That doesn't include the injuries. That's just the deaths. But in 2017 the deaths were up to 40,000 a year in the US alone. Let's compare that to other countries. How about the UK, the United Kingdom? They have 146 deaths per year. Denmark has 71 deaths per year. Portugal has 142 deaths per year. There goes my paper. And Japan, the safest country in the planet, had 30 gun deaths per year in 2017. So how does that work out per 24 hours here in the US? You're not going to believe this one. Every 24 hours we have an average of 34 gun deaths and 183 injuries per 24 hours here in the US. That's insane. So here in the US, if you're visiting this country, which is the most dangerous country as far as gun violence goes, the number 1 state here in the US that you're probably going to get shot if you go there is Alaska, with 23 3 per 100,000 deaths per year. Alabama has 21.4, Louisiana has 21.2, Mississippi has 19.8. What are the safest states to go to? The lowest murder rate in the U.S., you wouldn't believe it, is Massachusetts, with only 3.4 deaths per 100,000. Rhode Island has 4, New York has 4.4, California has 7.9. We're right in the middle. With gun deaths. So how many gun deaths have there been just in 2019 here in the U.S. alone? How's 2,248 deaths. That includes 85 children, but that's not the worst. So far in 2019, we've had 48 mass shootings here in the U.S. Now, the U.S. talks about shithole countries. The Orange Man, he talks about countries that are shitholes. The U.S. is one of the most dangerous countries on the planet. We have so much gun deaths, so much violence. And what's done about it? Oh, they kind of play around with background checks, and they play around the very edges of gun control of any kind, just right on the edge, you know. They'll never go for the problem, the fix. They never will they? And that's not confiscating guns from people either. There's a much better fix than that. And that's put guns out of the harm of people. And it's done so easily. Because it's a Second Amendment issue, you allocate the money from the U.S. taxpayers and you build armories and firearms areas where you can build up places where people can shoot anything they want and own any weapon they want. You just can't take that type of weapon out of that area. You can transfer the weapon from one armory to another all over the U.S., but you can't take it out on the street. The only guns that would be allowed out in the street are the guns that were around when the Second Amendment was written. Doesn't that make more sense than having all these gun deaths? Yeah, it's going to cost $1 trillion or more to do that. We're spending up to $3 trillion fighting terrorism and stealing people's oil all over the world. How much money will the U.S. spend on stealing Venezuela's oil? That's what it's all about. Business. Business is business. Selling weaponry makes a lot of money. All the shooting deaths makes a lot of money for the private insurance company. It's a money-making thing. The gun industrial complex, it's much more intense than you think. So I would love to hear your opinion on guns. Do you believe in gun control of any kind? Do you have guns? Do you shoot guns? And I know that 90% of all gun owners don't go around mass shooting people, but having a gun in the house gives an argument a way out, fast and easy. So I definitely appreciate all the comments on the last videos. They were really good. Glad to see them. Good conversations. And then all of a sudden all the comments start going away. YouTube is now broken. There's no search, so we're not getting many hits or new subscribers because there's no way for people to find the videos. And they say that's because of the mass shooting video that was going around the internet. They had to stop it in some way, so they just broke YouTube to stop it. And they're not rushing to fix it, if they ever will. There may not be a search after this. Who knows? I appreciate you guys coming about, and definitely your comments, ups and downs, and until next time.